Hello, Flosstube. This is Heather, the 20-minute stitcher on YouTube and Instagram, coming to you from my my reclaimed craft room. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw the picture I posted yesterday, I guess, showing this had been where I had set up my home office because it was where I had space. And I sort of noticed that I didn't like coming in here to craft anymore because all my work stuff was sitting here. So I finally moved it to my unfinished basement. So it's actually a fairly decent setup in there. It's not super pretty, but I'm also only going to be working from home 1 or 2 days a week after Labor Day. So I don't need to have it super pretty. I just need to have it be functional, and I needed it the heck up out of here so that I could use this space to craft again. So, I mean, cross stitch is definitely the craft I engage in the most, and I don't tend to sit at a table or a desk when I stitch. Though now I will have some space to maybe do some more overhead camera angle things. I'm trying out filming my Flosstube down here. I'm not sure if the light is as great. This room has just one big overhead light that I kind of had to figure out where to put my camera so that I wasn't getting this big glare from the light out of the top of my screen. So I think that this is okay. Let me know what you think. So yeah, this is my craft space. So I have a sewing table back behind me that's all closed up right now. You can see my stitching stuff back here. And then behind that is a whole bunch of scrapbooking stuff. I am years and years behind on my scrapbooking. Which was really kind of one of the motivating factors behind why I finally said, you know what, I need to reclaim this space because I do enjoy scrapbooking. I'm super far behind. I don't know if I'll ever catch up or if I will at some point just say, you know what didn't get done and start from what's going on now. So, and I do a mix of paper scrapbooking and digital scrapbooking, and a little bit of craft sewing, and obviously I use my sewing machine to finish cross-stitch projects as well. So let me know what you think of my new space. It's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff in here, but it feels good to have reclaimed it, although I just noticed on the wall behind my computer I still have a work thing hanging up there I need to take down. Anyway, so today's Flosstube is going to be a little bit of a shorter one. I really only have whips to show. No new starts, no finishes, no FFOs, although now that I have my space reclaimed, one of the things I hope to work on a little bit more is my little box of finished objects and turn them into fully finished objects. Now that I have easier access to my sewing machine and will no longer have the guilt of all of my work stuff staring at me saying, you know, you've got all this work you have to finish, even if it's on the weekend, which I don't have to finish it on the weekend. But anyway, I am rambling a little this morning or afternoon. I don't know, today. I hope all of you have had a wonderful week. If you are new to my channel, welcome. So happy to have you here. If you are a returner, you know I always love seeing you here again, reading your comments. I know, again, I am late on responding to my comments. I will respond, I promise. You know I will. This week has been super busy. But not with the usual things. So as I mentioned in my last video, my kids are with their dad this week. So I thought that I was going to have this totally laid back and relaxed week. But work was just slamming. Super busy at work. Ended up having a few meetings after work for things, my son's scout pack and things like that. So the weekend kind of hit and I was just as exhausted as I am on any other week. So the only difference is I did get more stitching done than usual because I wasn't carting the kids around to their stuff on top of my own things. And I wasn't having to, do the mom thing this week. So I got to do whatever I wanted when I wanted. Thank you, though. I mentioned I hadn't responded to comments yet, but let me respond here on the video to all of the just beautiful comments about the floss winders that I showed in my last video that my dad made. So many people commented about how beautiful they were and how lovely they were. And so I showed all those comments to my dad. I probably should have replied to them then, but I didn't. And it just tickled him. So thank you to those of you who left comments complimenting my dad. He definitely woodworks as a complete hobby, but I think he's pretty talented at it. He's made a few other things. He's made like little tables to go behind my sofa. It's a tinkering hobby of his, but he enjoys it. So, and he was very cheerful about the kind words you all left. So thank you for that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the stitching. As I said, this is going to be a short video. No fully finished objects, no new starts. I'm really focused on my goals for this month, which I just realized I forgot to bring my planner down here with me that has my goals written in them. I went over them in my last video, so definitely encourage you to check that out. If you are new here and want to hear what my goals are, I'll go through them now, the ones that I can remember in my head, but I don't know if I will miss any. So some of the current whips that I'm working on this month, or that I'm focusing on this month. So on August 4th, so the 4th of every month, I am working on Primrose Cottage Stitches Firework Kisses. So I worked on that this week on August 4th, and now it's going to hibernate until September 4th. I also have the goal to, on Witchy Wednesdays, I'm going to work on my Tiny Modernist When Witches Go Riding Stitch Along. I am doing the Haunted Library Sal by LolaCrowDesigns, and right now we're working on the prologue, which is this Sal's version of sort of the border or the frame, though it is neither, as you'll see in a minute. And my goal is to have the prologue done by August 26th, which is when Chapter 1 releases. I'm also working on my Magic Kingdom Stitch Along. My goal is in August is to finish the Alice in Wonderland scene and also complete the Snow White scene. I'm also doing the Cats of Disney Stitch Along. Both of those two Stitch Alongs are long completed, but I am still very much at the beginning of them. So my goal was to finish Tigger, which I did. So I will have Tigger finished to show you today. So I guess sort of a finish, a partial finish, a finish of a part I have. And what else? I feel like there was one other pattern. Page finish on my Modern Folk Embroidery Pride Stitch Along, which I did not work on this week. But I think those were all of my goals for August. So let's start with August 4th, since that was the first one, was Firework Kisses in my little Dapper Fox project bag that just makes me smile every time I look at it. So Firework Kisses by Primrose Cottage Stitches is my, I started this the weekend of July 4th, and then decided I would just stitch on it on the 4th of every month until it is done. I think I might have a picture of where this was at the end of July, and if I do, I will insert it here. But here is where I am now. I might have to get a light to go behind my laptop if I'm going to continue to film down here. So basically, where I was before, I had finished sort of all of this at the top, the fireworks, the and, the 4th, and the word July. And so on August 4th, I did the whole flag. So pretty good progress. I'm going to guess that I probably only have maybe 2 or 3 more months of stitching, depending on how much stitching I get done on the 4th to get this done. So this will be done in 2022 for sure. But yeah, I really like how this is coming along. I'm using all of the called for DMC, and this is being stitched on a 32 count Lugana by Bestitch Me. And the color is escaping me. I think, no, that's not. Let me look it up in my little trusty notebook. Hold on. I don't know if I've ever shown this notebook before. Maybe I should. Let's see. Firework Kisses. The color is cinnamon. So 32 count Lugana dyed by Bestitch Me in the color cinnamon. Have I ever shown this to you before? If not, are you interested in seeing it? Let me know in the comments. It's just a spiral bound notebook I got at Target. But it is, of course, I put a sticker over what it's called. It's a Cambridge, maybe. It's a special type of note-taking notebook. So you can see at the top it has the months and the days so that you can sort of circle like what day of class or whatever these notes were from. I use it to keep track of my projects. And the only reason I'm not showing it today is I actually ordered prints of the pictures that I've taken of my pieces to put in here and make this a little bit of a scrapbook because of sort of the progress on my pieces, as well as pieces that I completed as gifts, right? So I don't have them anymore, but I did take a picture of them. So this is going to become a scrapbook of sorts for my stitching. So that's the only reason I'm not bothering to show how I use it right now today, because I will show you this. Those pictures are supposed to arrive this coming week. So hopefully for my next video, I'll have them in the pages and we'll be able to show. So that was my progress on Firework Kisses. And then I mentioned I also finished Tigger on my Cats of Disney. Sorry, I thought I'd unzipped all my bags. On my Cats of Disney stitch along. So this is by Abbie Designs, and I'm stitching this on just a mystery Jobelin even weave fabric. But here is Tigger. He is done. So if you will recall, those of you who have been around since the almost beginning of my channel, there's a little bit of a history with this stitch along. So I started it on this fabric. Then I discovered a flaw in the fabric down at the bottom. And see if you can see, it's just sort of a double hole there. And I was worried it was going to be in my stitching. And so then I was like, I'm just going to restart it on another piece of fabric. Because I had only had Tigger done, hadn't started the back stitch. I was like, oh, that's not that much. I'll just restart. So I did restart. Here's the funny story. When I pulled this fabric out again last month and kind of looked at it again more closely and got a straight edge out and really kind of took the time and realized, you know, it definitely isn't going to interfere with my stitching. It's might be within the margin, but I might just have to have shorter margins on this piece. And I decided that I was going to go back onto this fabric because I really like stitching on it for one thing. And I just had a hard time giving up all of that stitching. So I went back to it, and I will tell you, it's a good thing because I went to go take out what little progress I had put in on the new fabric. Yeah, I can't find it. It's in an 11 by 11 Q-snap, so you would think that it would not be hard to find. I can't find it. I don't know where it is. There is a closet that like I keep my When Witches Go Riding, which is in that big scroll frame, that I keep that in to keep my cats off of it because it also doesn't fit where I keep the rest of my stitching. It's not in there. So yeah, I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I seem to have lost an 11 by 11 Q-snap with like a whole piece of fabric in it. It'll turn up when it's meant to turn up. I don't believe it has grown legs and left my house, but it's just bizarre that I can't find it. So I don't know, have any of you ever lost a piece of stitching? I don't know. Ooh, I am also noticing that this little table I'm using wiggles a lot. I was just shaking the camera quite a bit. We'll see if I keep filming down here. Anyway, so I just realized I don't know that I really held him up for that long. So there is Tigger. Again, this is the Cats of Disney Stitch Along by Abbie Designs. It might be called the Fall Cats Stitch Along. I can't recall, but they're all Disney cats. So that is my progress on that. The other two patterns that I worked on this week were my Magic Kingdom Stitch Along and my Haunted Library Stitch Along. So as a reminder, my goals for the Magic Kingdom Stitch Along are to finish Alice in Wonderland and Snow White. I was really trying to get, I still might finish Alice today. I just decided to, I had been sitting and stitching for like 2 hours, listening to an audiobook, and just decided that I needed to get up and like do something else for a little while. But here's where I am at right now on, new location, new things I got to figure out here. So here's where I'm at right now. If I have a picture, if I took a picture of where I was before, I will put it on the screen, but I'm not sure that I took a picture of this one. But what I have finished from the last time you saw, so now I have an Alice instead of an empty space there. The Mad Hatter has his hair and his face, although you can't really see his face. God, this light really is not great down here. All right, this is not visually going to be my best Flosstube, I don't think. But that's okay. I'm learning. I'll have to get a light or something that I can put up here. So I've done the March hare. Here's an unbirthday cake. The table is done. So really all I have left, there's one more lantern that goes here. There is the candle and the flame on the unbirthday cake. And then filling in background. And then there's back stitching and French knots that goes. There are little teacups that are 3/4 stitches on the table that I'm sure you cannot see because I can barely see them when I've got the fabric sitting right in front of me. That I have to go in and fill. There's this little teapot here that needs to be stitched. But this is really only about maybe 300 stitches away from being done. So it's getting close, which is making me feel happy because I'm making progress on my goals. So this is the Magic Kingdom stitch along thus far. And then the next one, so this stitch along took place in 2021. So Little Mermaid was January, Alice in Wonderland was February, Snow White goes right underneath, and that was the March 2021 pattern. So that is what I will work on after this. I am definitely chipping away at my easier goals right now, things that I was closer to begin with. I think the goal achievement is going to be fewer and further between after this. So, all right. And then the last piece that I worked on was the Haunted Library stitch along. I will put a picture of what the prologue finished project or product will look like when it is done. And I only stitch on this one day. Come on, get out of the bag. Thank you. Oh, it's getting caught on my needle minder. Stop that. Okay, there we go. The progress here is not as easy to see. So I put in a couple more stairs here, and I've kind of gone around here. It still doesn't look like much, except now you can sort of tell, right? It's starting to look a bit like a staircase. I don't think if you had no context for what this was, I don't think you'd have a clue what this is. But if you know that it's an old Gothic staircase, then my guess is you could probably see like, oh yeah, there's the riser, there's the step, there's a riser, there's a step. So it's getting there. I'm having so much fun stitching this. I really want to finish Alice tonight, but I also really want to stitch on this some more. So I don't know. This might have to be my reward for finishing Alice. And those are all of my whips for this week. I don't have much haul per se, so I decided to tag along on the Museum Stitchers. I forget exactly what she's calling it, but it's essentially like a no purchase August. Like no buying new things during the month of August. So I do have, but I did have one thing that I purchased like on July 31st. That was just another piece of getting my stash and my haul organized. So I've shown before that I use these project bags from Simon Says Stamps that my mom gets with her stamping kits because she does greeting cards and things like that. And I really like them, but sometimes I have a hard time telling like which pattern is it. Like I have to pull the bag out to see because unlike the fabric ones where I can tell by just the pattern of the fabric which kit is in there, these it's a bit harder. So and I was running out of project bags, and rather than, I don't know, be reasonable and say, well, I guess I can't start any new projects until I finish one because I don't have a project bag to put it in, I just bought some more project bags like those from Amazon. So now these are nowhere near as nice as the Simon Says Stamps one, but they were very inexpensive. So I bought some of these, and then I bought, these are just little Avery brand hang tags on split key rings. And so I have written the pattern name on both sides and put them through the zipper. Oops, I'm off camera. And put them through the zipper. So now when I put all of my, so upstairs I have a coffee table with little barn doors on the side that open to just an open compartment inside my coffee table that is just the right height to hold project bags. So right now I have all of my kind of active whips up there in the coffee table, and so now I can just put them in there with the tag facing me, and I can very easily find the bag I want and pull it out to work on. And then up here I have these, I've shown these before, and same thing, when I tuck them inside the pattern box, I can put them with the tag up and very easily find the pattern I'm looking for. So I was pretty proud of myself for having that idea because I don't think I've seen it anywhere else. And I really like it. And they make a little satisfying jingle against each other, which is, I guess, neither here nor there, but it's a satisfying little sound. I like it. So that is the extent of my haul, and I have just hit 20 minutes. So I guess this wasn't going to be a shorter video. I guess I rambled a whole bunch. But yeah, so that is my video for this week. So in the comments, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you think about the new location, if the video quality is better, worse, if the stitching was easier to see, the same to see, worse to see. Let me know what else you'd like to see from me. Now that I kind of have this space where I can spread out a little bit more, and have some dedicated space, I'm definitely still going to play around a bit with my overhead camera, figure out what I can do. I know several of you said you liked the idea of Stitch with Me's. I think once I get the kids back off to school in August, I will have a little bit more, and once the new lawyers start at my firm that I'm responsible for their program, like August is just, there's not a whole lot of brain width left at the end of the day for me in August between work and getting my kids ready to go back to school. So I think maybe in September, once routines are back in place, I might set up that Stitch with Me once I figure out how to do the live streaming and things like that. So, because I think that would be fun as well. I guess that's all I have for everyone today. I do have one more piece of haul that should be arriving this week. Again, like on I think this one was on July 29th. I did purchase the Cottage Garden Threads Autumn Samplers. Is that what they're calling them? Autumn Samplers? Some of you have seen it. The cross stitch, the rainbow stitch along. I'm sure some of you have seen it on Instagram and Facebook, where they have 25 different designers who have designed a 60 by 60 or smaller pattern that all use the same 4 colors of floss from Cottage Garden Threads. And I just keep seeing them on Instagram, and the little teases and the colors are just gorgeous, that I just said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. So those flosses are on their way. So I hopefully will have those. Well, actually, no, I guess it's a pre-order. So they won't ship until the end of August. So I guess I won't have those to show in my next video. But I guess I just teased you for whenever they do arrive, I'll have them to show. All right, I really am just rambling now. But, as always, I'm always so grateful that you share some of your time with me. I have always loved cross-stitching, but it's so much more fun when I know that I have people I get to share it with, and that I get to sit and watch all of you, or I know not all of you have floss tubes, but so many of you who do also have floss tubes get to watch and see your progress on your projects as well. It's so motivating. It's so fun. Love the community. And until next time, hug your loved ones. Take care of yourself. Happy stitching. Have a wonderful week. And I will see you soon. Bye.